Hello everyone, I'm Carthu, and today we're discussing what happened to Future Gohan after the defeat of Cell. If you missed part 1 and part 2 of this series, make sure that you check out the playlist in the I button or the link in the description so you can catch up. That being said, if you are all caught up, let's jump into it with the video intro. Where we last left off, the two Gohans had in sync defeated Cell with Kamehamehas, after which the two fall to the ground, once again in base form, a slight smile on their faces as they have won the day. The other Z fighters go and get the exhausted Gohans. Piccolo takes Future Gohan and Krillin takes present Gohan. They bring the two Gohans together before flying off, and Piccolo says, "You two did well. I'm sure he's proud." Everyone goes back to the lookout, where they use the Dragon Balls to revive those killed by Cell and to give Senzu to both Gohans. And just like the original, Goku telepathically tells the Z Fighters that he should stay dead for the sake of Earth, since most threats come to Earth because of him. Before he says his final goodbye, Future Gohan asks Goku a single question. As Future Gohan speaks to Goku, the Android 18 scene plays out with Krillin trying to restore her humanity, but ultimately settling for her bomb to be removed from her chest. Future Gohan doesn't like that they're helping her, but it seems as though she isn't hurting anyone, and most people on the lookout could defeat her with ease. She's no longer a threat, and should she be good like Krillin says, she will be a great asset for the protection of Earth going forward. After the Dragon Balls are used and everything on Earth is how it once was, it's time for Future Trunks and Future Gohan to return to their own timeline. Before the pair leave, Future Gohan talks to his present counterpart in private. "I know he's gone, and that's something you'll never get over. Trust me. But you can use this world that we saved to be yourself. Don't miss him so much that you try to be him. Learn from my mistakes." And with that said, he has one final person to talk to, Bulma. And after he's done talking to her, he returns to the time machine alongside Trunks, and they travel back to the future. Once in the future, the pair immediately hunt down the androids, and once they find them, they destroy them instantly. This of course leads to the reveal of Cell, who wants the time machine to go back to get the androids that were just destroyed. "Perfection must be acquired at all costs, and 2 half-breed lives aren't much of a cost to begin with." Trunks begins to step forward to face Cell, but Gohan extends his arm and shakes his head. "I'll finish this." Cell begins to laugh maniacally, confident that Gohan cannot even touch him. But that changes when Gohan turns Super Saiyan 2. The beatdown begins, and it's absolutely brutal. Gohan is practically tossing Cell around like a ragdoll, and finally slams him into the ground. Gohan takes both of his hands and puts them over his head, charging a final Masenko to end the fight. "If only I was perfect." Gohan looks down and pities the creature, born with a disgusting purpose and of genetic splicing. A creature that nature would never make must feel the torture of such a label. Gohan opens his mouth and responds, "No one is." With that, the Masenko is fired and Cell is erased in his entirety. No nucleus left to bring him back this time. The androids and Cell have been defeated, so Gohan and Trunks return to Capsule Corp to meet up with Bulma. As they do, in the afterlife on King Kai's planet, Goku has his hand on King Kai's back and begins to pull it away. "I always knew he could do it. Earth will be fine with him around. Don't you think, King Kai?" King Kai nods, and then motions his head towards something behind Goku. "Oh right! Back to it then!" Behind Goku, Yamcha, Chaozu, Tenshinhan, and Piccolo were waiting. Even in the afterlife, the Z Fighters continued their training. The journey to become the strongest martial artist you could be doesn't end when you pass on, but now it could continue without worrying about the people and the world that they left behind. Everyone gets back to sparring and training, everyone except Piccolo, who looks downwards, arms crossed and a smile on his face. The silence is broken by Goku's voice. "Piccolo! You're sparring me this time!" Piccolo takes off his cape and turns around. He faces Goku, just as he did all those years ago. The last generation may finally find peace, and the next one can take over the safety of the planet. Back on Earth, Gohan and Trunks just arrived at Capsule Corp, and are with Bulma because Gohan has a plan. Back in the present, Goku found new Namek, and on that planet, he got Dende to be the new god of Earth. They even received a new set of Dragon Balls that could grant more wishes. They won't be able to revive the Z-Fighters because it's been far too long, but they could revive those killed on Earth recently. A way to revitalize what remains of the population on the planet after the androids ruthlessly killed them, and Cell absorbed them for the power he needed to absorb the androids that he never got the chance to use. Bulma says that's a good plan, but they don't have a ship or a location of New Namek. They couldn't get there if they tried, and it would take years just to find the planet alone. But that's where she's wrong. Despite the ship that Goku used to get to Namek being destroyed over years because they needed the scrap parts, and New Namek's location not being common knowledge, Gohan here came prepared. Gohan, before he left the present timeline, took a spaceship from Bulma. That is what he had to speak with her about before he left. And before Goku said his final goodbye, he asked Goku where New Namek is. While Goku couldn't give an answer better than a vague direction, King Kai stepped in and gave a specific location, which Gohan jotted down. Gohan relayed the location to Bulma, and she checked how long it would take to get there. It's further away than the original planet Namek, so it does take 10 days instead of the 6 that it took Goku. And going both ways, that's a total trip of 20 days, almost a month. And so, that's what Gohan does. He tells Trunks to stay, just in case anything bad should happen on Earth while he's gone, and he flies off to New Namek the next day. Not much to say here, as the journey goes on, Gohan does a mix of gravity training and 100 times gravity, as well as studying. With Earth safe now, maybe being a scholar isn't that far out of reach anymore. Once Gohan arrives on New Namek, he's recognized by a much older and taller Dende than he remembers. He tells Dende what's going on, the tragedy of Earth, the issues they're having, and the lack of a god, and Dende agrees to become the god of Earth, just as he did in the present. The journey back is another 10 days of studying and training, until eventually they land back on Earth once again. Using the dragon statue at Kami's lookout provided by Mr. Popo, Dende restores the Dragon Balls to their former glory, and even more. He gives them the new perks of 3 wishes, or only 2 if you wish back a large group of people at once. With the 2 wishes, they revive everyone that is able to be revived, and restore the planet to the way it was before the androids. Buildings, streets, forests, and more were all returned to the way they were before the androids destroyed it all. Gone was the smell of fire and ash, and in its place, a breeze carrying the scent of irises, and doves flying along. The future was peaceful and safe, but just like all things, safety and peace cannot last forever. More threats would soon arise, and Gohan and Trunks will have to be ready to face them in Part 3 of What If Future Gohan Survived. Before you head out, guys, we have some awesome merch available right now, including my favorite, the Carthu's Dojo Gym logo shirt. Also, if you're interested in videos early, exclusive live streams every Monday, even a private Minecraft server with me on it, you can become a member today by clicking the join button below. It's right next to the subscription button, or you can click the link in the video description if you're on mobile. Thank you guys so much for all your continued support. Next time. Thanks for watching. Make sure to hit the like button, leave your opinions and counterpoints in the comments down below, and hit subscribe and the notification bell. That way you get to stay up to date on the channel and everything that goes on with it. If you're interested, please check out the merch store to support the channel in another way that gives you something in return. But till next time, peace!